Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a full-blown roller coaster for sovereign citizens, for different judges, and 4 escalating levels of absolute courtroom chaos. Every encounter gets more unhinged than the last, and I promise you are not prepared for just how wild this lineup becomes. We're kicking things off in Florida with our first sovereign citizen of the day. So grab your seat, buckle up, and let's dive head first into the madness.
State your name, sir.
Mr. Fox, before the court trial, possession of paraphernalia and a no valid driver's license. You understand the charges?
You understand what you're charged with?
No?
No.
No. He doesn't understand. Allegedly, you had methamphetamine on or about your person, and allegedly, it may have been contained within something that qualifies, aka a clear plastic bag, that qualifies as paraphernalia in the state of Florida. And allegedly, you were operating a motor vehicle without allegedly having a driver's license. You understand that?
I understand the driver's license, yes, sir.
Okay, well,
Possession.
I didn't say it was yours. Did I say it was yours? I said you've been charged with.
Right.
Nobody's asking if you did it. I'm just asking if you understand what the charge is. Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, then we'll bring you back tomorrow when you understand.
I was hoping I'm not from this state. I mean, this county. If I can just resolve everything today.
You got a parole hold. You wouldn't get out anyway.
You got nowhere to go, man. So, do you understand the charges against you or not?
I understand they charging me with it, yes, sir.
That's all you got. See how easy that is? I don't know why do we have to go back and forth
It's
about
not
it?
easy when you're in my shoes, sir.
It's easy it's a yes or no question. Do you understand?
I don't agree to the
Nobody's
contract.
asking you to admit to anything. I just need to make sure you understand the charge.
I'm a proud citizen, sir.
I'm
I'm
shocked.
the UCC folks.
Oh, UCC? Oh, I love it. A sovereign. Golly Moses, I love those.
I love watching this judge. He's one of the funniest judges I've had the chance to cover, and he always has something smart to say when it comes to court. His wit and sharp remarks make every hearing a lot more interesting, and honestly, he never disappoints.
Mr. Fox, crap in one hand, hope in the other, and see if that helps. Bond set at 5,000 the meth, 1,000 paraphernalia, 500 on the driver's license, which oddly enough, the Supreme Court said you do need to drive. Court date is February the 17th at 9 o'clock, but you're not going anywhere because you got that probate or that parole.
Step to your right. So the team.
Mr. Fox, when you sue me, make sure you spell it with 2 N's. I want to make sure that the AG's office gets involved.
You don't have to worry about that, sir. I'm peaceful.
Sign where the light is for your copy of that. Next.
All right, so that was a pretty solid way to kick things off after the holidays. And speaking of which, I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year too. Now, for our next soft-headed case, we're heading back to Bothell, where we've got an educationally insignificant sovereign citizen who apparently doesn't consent to following the law at all.
All right, it's off the 11 o'clock calendar. Mr. Calzada, could you please turn on your video for me?
Yeah, hold on one second.
All right, good morning, Mr. Calzada. You're here for arraignment, so could you please tell me your full legal name?
I don't know how that has anything to do with the case. My name.
Well, Mr. Calzada, I need to confirm who you are. So could you
Here
please
I
tell me?
am.
Well,
I'm here
please tell me
physically present, right?
Mr. Calzada, could you please, what is your first name?
My first name? Well,
Mhm.
it could be anything, right? I could change my name at will, right?
All right. I'm going to set this matter over for an in-person arraignment, and Mr. Lohr, you'll have law enforcement standing by. All right?
Will do, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Calzada, I will set this over. You will appear in person at the Bothell Municipal Court for arraignment.
I don't even consent to that.
And yet, you're still required to be there. It's funny how that works, isn't it? And is it just me? Or does this ass clown sound a lot like Kermit the Frog, you know? Like if Kermit the Frog had a little fetal alcohol syndrome?
I didn't even consent to. I was gonna go there today, and you guys were all doing Snohomish County prisoners. Pretty busy, huh? The sheriff even said it's pretty busy. The court has to file a 1099-C. How you
All right.
file a 1099-C for that bond? You don't need voter approval for that, don't you? Those bonds. How much are the bonds? Who
Mr.
issued them?
Calzada, I'm going to set this to December 31st at 1:30 in the Bothell Municipal Court in person. You will need to be there for arraignment, okay? So I will see you in person at the Bothell Municipal Court at that time, all right?
Looks like there's no free will then.
So,
So then what am I doing here then? Hold on, what am I doing here?
well, right now you are not responding to my questions. So
Well,
I'm
you're
going
not
to have you
responding to any of my. I don't have a problem of answering any of your questions, but I have a couple questions first. I have to
Miss-
understand too. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know everything. I'm not
Then-
perfect.
Yeah, no, you're not perfect. None of us are. And I wouldn't say you don't know everything. I'd say you don't know anything. It's like you're out here guessing your way through life. And it's honestly painful to watch.
come in person so that we can be sure that you understand what's
All
going
right, great. I'm glad. It's definitely implied, isn't it? It's not expressed. It's implied.
December 31st at 1:30 in person. at
December
the Bothell-
31st at 1:30, I'll be there.
Very good. We'll see you then.
Come in person, so we can be sure you understand. All right, great. I'm glad it's definitely implied, isn't it? It's not expressed, it's implied. December 31st at 1:30. In person. December 31st at 1:30. I'll be there. Very good. We'll see you then. All right. So that's the end of that video. I waited around on the 31st to see his next appearance, but either he didn't show up, or they didn't put it online. Bothell leaves most of their hearings up, so he probably didn't show up. If that's the case, a bench warrant will be issued, and he'll be back. Now we head to Judge Slavin's courtroom, where we've got a crowd favorite and multiple Dumb of the Day award winner, Eric Martin.
Ms. Sobe, you're here on the Martin matter, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Let's go have a conversation outside.
You'll be assistant. Okay, so everyone tell me.
All right, today is the date and time set for a hearing in this matter with regard to a bond violation. This is case 242448 SM. People versus Eric Martin. Everybody hear me?
Yes, good morning, Judge. Donna Silva on behalf of the people, P87439.
Morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Martin, Your Honor. I have a motion to make.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, I was making a motion to withdraw. I've had contact with Mr. Martin before in other matters, and there's no attorney-client communication in this matter. We're talking about different things, and there's just no way of moving forward that I can adequately represent him, Your Honor. So I'm asking to withdraw.
All right, your motion to withdraw is granted. Mr. Martin, would you like a different court-appointed attorney?
Yeah, I guess so, since he shows his willingness not to want to do his job and help me out, and he's in this state making false statements. You're talking about there's a lack of communication. It certainly ain't on my part. I was pointing out to him relevant defenses. He just didn't want to do his job. That's clear what he made of me. So,
Mr. Martin, I have found Mr. Gazicki to be a very competent individual, a very competent attorney in many, many cases. I've seen many trials, hearings, motions, practicing in front of this court. and I find him to be very competent. If you make one more negative comment about him, I'll hold you in contempt of court. I don't do that. We don't act like this isn't the Jerry Springer show. This isn't going to be a bunch of name calling. You're going to knock it off. Knock it off, Mr. Martin. I'm done with everything, and you keep doing all your little negative comments, things that you want to say about people. And you think you're the smartest person in the room, and that you have some sort of special juris doctorate, I guess, from somewhere. I don't know.
I do. He got his law degree from the prestigious law school at Narnia University. And you can tell from Judge Slavin's last confrontation with Eric Martin that he's absolutely tired of his sovereign bull shastrous tea and ridiculous arguments. Judge Slavin is totally okay with giving his family some peace and quiet, while letting Eric Martin rot in jail for all his nonsense.
But you don't have the first clue when it comes to things, and you talk about that. And so Mr. Gizicki is saying that he's trying to talk to you about actual legal defenses, and you're trying to bring up some kind of other stuff. And so I'm going to grant his motion. Do you want, all I asked you was this. I didn't ask you to give me a commentary about Mr. Gizicki or what you think he can do, because I've always seen him to do his job every single time he does a file. What I want to know is, do you want another court-appointed attorney, or are you representing yourself? That's it. It's a simple question. Answer simple questions. That's what you needed to start doing, is answering questions.
Yep, one other attorney, but I want to state also that if it was recorded, it would support my allegations.
Boom, time out. Nope, not hearing it. The question is this: do you want another court-appointed attorney? So you're either going to say yes, court-appointed attorney, or represent yourself. Which is what is your answer here today? Because there's only two possible answers here. You either get another attorney, or you can represent yourself if you'd like. Or if you want to hire your own attorney, you can do that. So there's three things. Are you going to get one appointed, yourself, or retained? Those are the three possible answer choices. What are you going with?
Yes, another appointed one, but without.
All right, there you go. Don't need any more commentary. Don't need any more commentary about it. You have a right to remain silent. You can exercise that right now. So we're going to appoint another court-appointed attorney to you. And the individual who was here as your attorney during your trial, you seem to get along pretty well with him. You want me to reach out to see if he's available?
I don't know who you're referring to.
The guy who was here at your trial. I don't know his last name.
Oh, he's on the other trial.
Yeah, the other trial, not this case. This is the misdemeanor domestic violence case. I'm talking about your driving on a suspended license case, restricted.
Well, I mean, he did for the most part. I won't say for the most part, maybe for the most part, but there's some things he didn't do neither. He should have. He didn't raise my right to travel defense. So
yes or no? Yes or no? Is he somebody that you think you can get that you can communicate well with?
I guess we'll give him a try. I guess. Yeah.
Sure. All right. I'm going to appoint or reach out and see if we can see if he's available. So let's appoint.
But now, Slayton, I have some questions for you before you move forward.
All right. So we're going to set that. We're going to set that for a hearing date, and we'll see you then.
Hold on.
Bye. Have a great time.
I can't tell you how much I dislike this jackass. I don't particularly care whether he's a sovereign citizen or not. But the fact that he continues to believe that the courts can't order him to stop harassing his family means I'm silently celebrating his current living situation. Now, for our final sovereign citizen, we're staying in Michigan and heading to Magistrate Hayes' courtroom, where we have a SVIT running the S script and a judge who shuts him down with facts. I found this video on Old Squishy Gardner's channel. He's one of the best sources for courtroom stupidity. So if you're a court nerd like me, head over to his channel and give him a sub.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is David Heiss. I'm an attorney magistrate. We are scheduled for an informal hearing in two different cases that arise out of one citation. And those two cases are both entitled The People of the City of Battle Creek versus Roosevelt LaShawn Williams. Is that your name, sir?
That is my name.
Basically, what happens is you were issued one citation. It had two violations listed on it. So it became two different cases, one with an A and one with a B at the end. But we have one informal hearing scheduled for both of those cases because they both arise out of the same transaction, so to speak. I guess, Officer Kellums, is there anything before I begin?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Williams, you're here because you were issued a citation. And in each of those two cases, so for each of those violations, you have three possible responses to the citation. You can first admit responsibility, be assessed the fines and costs, and be done with it. You could, as a second option, admit responsibility with an explanation, hoping that the explanation would cause the court to decrease the fines and costs a little bit. Or you can deny responsibility and have your hearing. It's my understanding that as to both cases, you wished to deny responsibility. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, here's how the hearing works. First of all, I guess I should read the citation. In the case ending with the letter A, it's alleged that back on November 19th of 2024, you were over at Fountain Street near Meacham Avenue in the city of Battle Creek, and you were issued a citation for not being able to provide a proof of insurance. This is a civil infraction. If you were found responsible, all other things being equal, the court would assess $125 fines, costs, and fees. It is a 0-point ticket. And in the second case that ends with the letter B, that same date, time, and place, you were issued a citation for having an expired registration plate. That is also a civil infraction. It is also a 0-point civil infraction. If you were found responsible, all other things being equal, the court would assess $110 fines, costs, and fees. So first question, is that the ticket or the two cases that you thought you were appearing about, Mr. Williams?
It is.
Okay. And same question to you, Officer Kellums?
Yes, sir.
Very good. In every civil case, the plaintiff has the burden of proof. And in a case like this, that burden of proof is called by a preponderance of evidence.
Only question I have is, will the laws of the U.S. Supreme Court be applicable? And the federal statutes and definitions of motor vehicle and automobile be applicable in this proceeding?
They are the state of Michigan laws that will be applicable.
Okay. The other question is, are you already not bound by U.S. Supreme Court rulings?
Every court is bound by relevant Supreme Court rulings.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure why you're asking that, but that's okay.
He's asking that because he believes it's some kind of win to get you to admit that you're bound by previous Supreme Court rulings. However, this is not the flex he thinks it is. That question is about as useful as asking a math professor if they'll be using addition and subtraction on a math test. It's a given, not a debate.
All right, so if you would both raise your right hands. Very good. All right, Officer Kellums, if you would begin, please.
So on November 19th, 2024, I was on patrol for the Battle Creek Police Department when I observed the vehicle that Mr. Roosevelt was driving. I observed that it had expired tags on the vehicle. I then conducted a traffic stop on Fountain Street near Meacham Ave. Found Mr. Williams to be driving the vehicle, where I issued him the citations. When speaking with Mr. Williams, he could not provide insurance, and his tags were expired.
Okay. Do you happen to know when they expired?
I do not off the top of my head, sir.
Okay. What made you think they were expired? The wrong color and the wrong year on the plate itself, or some other thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Did Mr. Williams say anything to you during the stop about having insurance or not having insurance, or anything about the tags on the plates, anything like that?
He informed me that he did not have to have insurance due to he was traveling, and to drive a vehicle, you have to have insurance. Something regarding the Supreme Court. That's about all he said.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to consider anything else at this point, Officer Kellums?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Williams, could you hear Officer Kellums' testimony?
Yes, I heard his testimony.
Very good. Thank you for your patience. What do I need to know, sir?
Okay, I did inform Officer Kelly that I am not operating a motor vehicle, but I am operating an automobile. I did inform Officer Kelly of the ruling of Rodriguez v. Ray Donovan, U.S. Department of Labor, 769 Federal 2nd, 1344, where the U.S. Supreme Court's decision has ruled that all codes, rules, and regulations are for government authorities only and not for human creators. In accordance with God laws, all codes, rules, and regulations are unconstitutional and lacking due process.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. Are you telling me that a case at 769 Fed 2nd, 1344 indicates that all laws are unconstitutional?
All codes, rules, and regulations. Yes, sir. Rodriguez v. Ray Donovan. And if
Well,
I'm not mistaken.
And you said that was Department of what?
U.S. Department of Labor.
Okay. U.S. Department of Labor doesn't publish decisions in the Fed 2nd. Can you tell me a little bit more about the case? What was that issue in the case?
It was regarding what we're discussing here, the requirements of a driver's license and the need when it's required to have one, stating that when you're not operating in commerce, to which I informed the officer that I am not operating in commerce as stated in USC 18 USCA 31 paragraph A6 states that a motor vehicle, the term of motor vehicle meaning every description of carriage, contrivance, propelled or drawn or mechanical powered and used for commercial purposes. This is what Title 18 USCA Section 31A6 states or defines as a motor vehicle, to which I am not operating in commerce.
This is something that comes up quite a bit, and I don't ever fully explain it. So today I'm going to give you a quick summarization of the full explanation. Yes, 18 USC 831 generally defines a motor vehicle as a vehicle in commerce. However, if you read the very first line of 18 USC 831, it states that this definition only applies within this chapter. Now, I read all of the sections within the chapter, and only 2 even contain the words motor vehicle to begin with. 3 of them mention the word vehicle, but Section 38 refers to space vehicles, and a car is definitely not a space vehicle, no matter how much galaxy gas they ingest. As for the case he cited, Rodriguez versus Donovan, I don't know why he would bring that up. That case involved the IRS receiving benefits and a situation where the Supreme Court forced jurisdiction onto a district court that had previously ruled it didn't have subject matter jurisdiction. But that ruling had nothing to do with the Supreme Court, saying that all laws are invalid.
I'm not using...
For the purposes of that particular chapter of the United States Code, it would not control what happens in terms of the Michigan legislature defining in Chapter 257 what a motor vehicle is, and an automobile under Michigan law is a motor vehicle. But okay, continue.
Right, it's a motor vehicle, which is described as anything, even by the Michigan compliance statute of 751, which you just stated, is determined as something that's transporting goods, which I'm not transporting goods.
I understand your position, and I can tell you that that position doesn't happen to be legally correct, but go ahead.
So you're basically stating that there's a misinterpretation of what's in black and white?
No, I'm telling you that you have misinterpreted the application of 18 USC 31A6 and 769 F second or Fed second 1344.
Okay,
but
well, I see what
I've heard your argument.
So there will be no further arguments because I see that you're not going to agree to, because like I said, I've given it to you, the cases where they're like Shapiro v. Thompson, where the U.S. Supreme Court has said that a driver license is not a requirement, that you're trying to convert a right into a privilege, to which is covered by Article 1, Section 8.
I'll ask you this. Is that right, the right to travel?
That is a right to travel, convey, however you want it, by the U.S. Constitution.
What you just told me was that somehow but regardless, am trying to convert a right into a privilege. Now, the question I have for you is, what right has been converted to a privilege?
My right to freely travel unencumbered and unfettered.
I will ask you this. How is your right to travel removed by
by trying
receiving
to
the
require
citation?
by trying to require me to have a license to operate a automobile, which is my private vehicle.
Okay. All right. Is there
That is
anything
my
else you want me
that,
to consider?
All right, well, if that's the totality of your arguments, then it's real simple. You're guilty. And did you know the words right to travel are not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution? This right is actually one of the many unenumerated rights the Constitution protects. The Supreme Court has affirmed this in landmark rulings, such as Shapiro versus Thompson, which reinforces that the freedom for citizens to move between the states of the United States is a fundamental principle of our constitutional society.
The Michigan motor vehicle laws, including the laws that require you to carry insurance, that require your vehicle to be registered, and require that registration to be current, do not run in violation of any right to travel under the Constitution or the United States Supreme Court decision that you have cited. In fact, Michigan courts have held that essentially the right to travel means the right for you to move from A to B, not the right for you to travel from A to B under your most convenient way. So you could walk from point A to B all you wanted. You could take a taxi or an Uber or a plane or a train or a bus. But if you wish to travel by using a motor vehicle, the Michigan laws are applicable and don't unconstitutionally interfere with the right to travel. It doesn't convert the right to travel into a privilege. You are not denied the right to travel. You may be denied the privilege of traveling via a motor vehicle that you are operating. So
okay, so
that is what the law says, and that's what I'm finding. Is there anything else you want me to consider about that finding?
Shuttleworth v. Birmingham, US 147. Do you mind telling me what the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in that?
US 147 doesn't give me the site of a case. That's an incomplete site of a case. Okay.
It was Shuttle.
And if you wish me to consider the case, why don't you tell me what was at issue in the case and what year it was decided?
I said Shuttleworth v. Birmingham, US 147, 1969, where it says license.
US 147 is not a complete cite. The way you cite to a case is by name and then volume number and then the name of the publication and then the page number. So, for instance, when you said 769 Fed 2nd 1344, what that means is volume 769 of a book or volumes called The Federal Reporter, 2nd edition, at page 1344. So when you're asking me about this most recent case that you've talked about, what you said was US 147, I think. That's not the citation to a case. So you're going to have to tell me more about that case. Who were the parties to that case and what issue was before the Supreme Court in that case?
Okay, so you didn't hear me cite the name of Shuttleworth v. Birmingham?
I heard you say the name. That doesn't tell me what, that's not a complete cite of the case.
All right. Do you not have the documents that I filed when I filed to say that I want to have an informal hearing? The affidavit that writes that my
there are documents that have been scanned into the court that you dropped off.
Okay.
So from those documents, why don't you tell me the proper citation for Shuttle versus Birmingham?
Come on, magistrate. Asking him to properly cite a Supreme Court case is like asking him to explain how the paraffin wax in his sandwiches made that perfect. That being said, it's important to note that sovereign citizens often misinterpret Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham because that case primarily addressed civil rights violations and the freedom of assembly, not the constitutional right to travel, making it irrelevant to this conversation. And while you're at it, you should now go out and apologize to every tree you pass for stealing its oxygen.
Okay, traffic infractions are not crimes, blah, 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 person faced with, okay.
Right. Traffic infractions are not crimes. That's absolutely correct. They are civil infractions for a reason.
I was reading from a different case, but the case that I'm citing from states that no license necessary to drive an automobile on public highways, streets, no license is necessary. The word operator should not include any person who solely transport his own property and who transport no persons or property for hire or
Where's that
compensation.
citation from?
Okay, I just appeal it, and that way I can make sure all citations are.
That's fine. I mean, the idea is I can't look up what you're telling me, right, without a proper citation. So you can read. I mean, for all I know, and I don't mean this, I'm using a farcical example. For all I know, you're quoting the municipal court in Honolulu, Hawaii, which has no jurisdiction over Michigan.
It's
right?
understandable.
I don't know.
So I would cite Payne v. Massey, 19196 Southwest 2nd, 493, Texas, 273.
Okay. Well, and I can tell you that Texas law, a court interpreting Texas law, that decision wouldn't be controlling on a Michigan court. But that's fine. I think I understand where you're going. If you want, I don't need to consider anything else. I'm just asking you, is there anything else you want to present to me?
If you're not going to consider anything else, then we can proceed on to your ruling, of which I know you're going to find. So, and like I said, like you said, I have a right to appeal it. So
yeah, and I'm willing to listen. If you're going to quote something, I need to know what you're quoting, and I need a proper citation so I can look it up myself, right? Because otherwise people could just run around quoting Mickey Mouse if they wanted.
Right. Okay. So
nothing against you. So the question to you is, what else do you want me to consider at this point that you haven't yet told me?
Okay. Zobel v. Williams, 457 U.S. 55.
And why are you citing that case? What is it telling me?
Because it states that, let me see the above, blah, blah, blah. To travel unencumbered and fettered on common public way or highway, which is their right to so do.
Absolutely.
Held that the right to travel is constitutional protected.
Yep.
Like I've already said, the right to travel is protected through Supreme Court rulings and interpretation, not through explicit constitutional wording. The actual wording in the Constitution is that you have a right to liberty, which includes the freedom of movement, but it does not include the right to drive a plane, train, or automobile to achieve this movement. It's a subtle difference that many sovereign citizens fail to grasp, but an important one nonetheless.
Anything else you want me to consider?
No, sir. No, sir. No.
Okay. I have no problem telling you have the right to travel. I have no problem telling you have the constitutional right to travel. All citizens do. No doubt about that.
One question. Is there a difference between a motor vehicle and an automobile? Is there a difference?
Yes. All automobiles are motor vehicles, but not all motor vehicles are automobiles.
Okay, so is my automobile not my private personal automobile that's not being used in commerce?
I would have no idea the use of your motor vehicle, and it's not relevant to me for the purposes of deciding whether you're responsible for these civil infractions.
Okay. Well, I have nothing else for you to consider.
Well, very good. I'm letting you know the law does not make a distinction between your using the vehicle for personal reasons or you're using the vehicle for commercial reasons when your registration plate is expired and when you fail to show proof of insurance. Both of those are required.
The MCL language.
Both of those are required under Michigan law for anyone operating any motor vehicle. That's what I can tell you. So
correct.
If you're
a motor vehicle, to which I am not operating a motor vehicle, and this is what we are trying to,
I guess,
circumvent.
Well, one of you is trying to circumvent something, the law, and the other is about to lay down his ruling that will prevent that circumvention.
Yeah,
I am operating my automobile, not a motor vehicle.
I can tell you that an automobile is considered a motor vehicle under the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code. So that's fine. Is there anything else you want me to consider?
Nope.
Very good. All right. So I've listened very carefully to the evidence. I do find that it's more likely than not that when you were required to by Officer Kellums at a traffic stop show proof that your vehicle was insured, that you failed to do so, and that it is more likely that the registration plates on the vehicle were expired. So I'm going to assess the $125 on the no proof of insurance case and the $110 on the expired plates case. All right. thank you both for your time and patience. You're all set. Have a very good day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, so that's the end of the video. He was found responsible on all his charges. He'll probably pay the fine, appeal, and be told he's wrong again. So, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike. But don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my content. And a big thank you once again to Extra for sponsoring this video.